Hey guys, I'm going to show you how to second coat this archway bead. Jess already sanded it, he rough sanded it. If you guys, you can go watch the other videos. There's one thing that's different about rough sanding the arch is we're going to take our sponge to this,
to the round part
here, and we're going to make it a little bit nicer. So I'm going to use the rough side of the sponge, and I just want to make it nicer so it's more round than it is right now. And we're going to coat this again so it doesn't have to be perfect at all. So, this really shouldn't take too long, so just take you
just a real quick
seconds just to do a real rough job. There, I don't know if you want to show it a little closer.
So Phil basically took down any ridges that were there. You know, any imperfections. It's not a, see there's, I can't, oh yeah, see the pinholes and shit? Stuff, we have to,
we're gonna fill those.
Yeah, we gotta take that out. So that's your second coat.
Okay, so I got my mud. This is regular mud, finishing mud. We added sunlight to it.
Sunlight soap.
About a cup of this stuff for a 5-gallon bucket. And it really helps with getting rid of the bubbles that appear in the mud.
Some people use water. We don't like water because water leaves the mud and it causes shrinking, or you know, it basically your bead won't look as coated as you think that it should look. There's other stuff that you can buy, hardening stuff that we don't use. It's kind of expensive and not fun to play with.
Okay, so again we got the hawk and the flat knife here. So I filled up the mud on the hawk. You really want a hawk again. The pen, it's really hard to get the mud out of there. So we're just gonna load the bead. You start with loading the bead.
Putting the mud on the beads.
Since last time we put a lot of mud on and we grinded it down so that now it's flat, I don't have to put a lot of mud on this time. I can really kind of push it, make it real flat with the knife, and there won't be any ridges or anything because we grinded it flat. You know, that's why we put a lot of mud on the first coat. So I'm just going to load the bead real quick. And again, I'm going to start with this corner, I'm going to finish with this corner. So I want to feather the edge. So I just feathered one edge and I'm going to feather it again. So I kind of feathered the edge. You can see the edge is all feathered down.
It's very, there's no edge there.
But still it's really ugly here.
At the bottom of the bead, you see?
So now I'm going to perfect the bottom of the bead. The other side. And see, I can press fairly hard on this and I don't have any problems because we grinded it flat. So it's really easy to coat it nice now because it's flat already.
That's right.
So that's done. So I'm going to work with this tall piece here.
Let me just, you're going to, okay.
You want to make sure, of course, that you always put more mud than the last coat. You know, it's got to overlap the edge a little bit.
Just a little bit, so that when you're, yeah, if you match up your edges with the same, like your next coat, you might have a higher edge than the rest of the bead, and it's very tough to get that out sanding. So the reason why we feather it out past that first coat is so that it smooths away very nice when we're sanding.
I said that you can press pretty hard, but I don't mean that you can press really hard with the knife. If you press really hard, I'll just take all the mud off.
Show us, Phil.
And you know, if you press really hard, there's the mud difference you can see.
It's quite a difference.
Like you want to leave some mud on. This is how you want it on. You know, like see, you can see here there's mud missing because I pressed so hard. Okay, anyways, so the mud is on. I'm gonna feather the edge. Feather the edge. Now I'm just pretty much going to put my knife flat on there. Oh, and I got some scratches here, so I'm going to do it again.
Start at the top.
So pretty much just put the knife flat on there.
Do that again.
And then that's
a coated
good.
bead.
You know, and there's just this corner left to work with. I like to leave the corner for last.
Because there's there's a butt involved in there, it's a good place to leave it for last.
And also, it's easier to just work with this corner instead of trying to work with the entire thing all at once.
That's a good, yes.
So I fill the corner up. I'm gonna feather the sand, feather the top a little bit. There's a little bit of a scratch. Go this way, and I'm done.
That's pretty nice.
Since we did flat, since we sanded it flat, you know, this was really easy. Your knife, you don't have to like put a lot of mud on or anything. You don't have to float. You don't have to float your knife.
No, you shouldn't have to float it during second coat.
Okay, so I'm gonna do this down part here. Actually, I'm gonna do this one here first. You just put it upside down like this.
Hold on.
Take your mud upside down like this, right?
Yep.
Then we want.
Just loading up the bead.
I'm gonna start from the top.
And go down.
Go down.
Again, feels just.
So at first you want to play with it a little bit like that to make sure that it fills the whole thing.
You spread out the mud very nice.
Out the mud, yeah, exactly.
If you see how Phil just, what he did there was he had some mud from left over from wiping down and he just slipped it on the side. So instead of going to reach for more mud off his hawk, he just used what was on the knife.
Again, in the bottom here, I'm going to put some mud on.
See how it's a little bit rough there? Phil, he'll go up. See how he just kind of filled it?
On the side there, and it kind of puts a big glob, and then the next time, the glob will get smoothed out.
That's right.
See, now we have a scratch, so I'm just going to do it one more time. Another little scratch, so one more time. There, that's good. That's perfect.
That's a nice bead.
So I got to do this round, and I'm going to use my 6"
to catch the underneath.
Catch the underneath. Again, you just load it really easy. This is a lot easier
than the first coat because it's already got a ton of mud on there.
So I got lots of mud on my knife, and I want to make sure that I get it in all the corners here. And then I just want to spread it out at first. It's going to be a little rough, a little ugly at first when you bring the mud on. Like you can put lots of mud on at first. But then you really need to wipe it all down. You don't want to leave lots of mud on the second coat.
No.
Okay, so now I'm going to wipe it down. Oh, it's scratchy. Okay, scratchy again. I'm going to go the other way. Oh, there's something in my mud there, so. Okay. Couple more scratchies. Got them. Okay, so I got to leave that. That's good enough. Now I'm going to use my bead, my piece of bead that we cut last time. I find that it's a little shy on mud, so I'm going to just put a little bit of mud on it, just like this. I'm going to start in this corner. You just want to make the round nice. No problem. So the round is pretty nice. There's kind of a scratch in it. But it's okay. There's a big ugliness there, so I'm gonna wipe it down with my knife one last time. I gotta do the underside again, and it's gonna leave a little bit of ridge in the round, but that's okay. We'll sand that down when we're finished sanding. I would leave that. I would leave that just a little bit of sanding and then maybe another touch up.
Not a big deal. If you have to put a touch up on it, that's the way to go. Other than trying to dick around with getting that right perfect this time, man, it's best to leave that alone. Come back to it, sand it out.
A little bit, just touch the round up. That's all that we really need to touch up was just the round here, and it'll be perfect. Thank you.
Thanks, Phil.